time to take time to take a tour around the zoo. So, first things first, we have the nice zoo entrance with the nice little desert biome on the side. This desert biome, I'd like to point out, was absolutely awful to build. It looks like, you know, deserty and stuff. But the problem is, sand falls. So I had to line this whole thing here with dirt, which was awful. All right, so moving into here. First enclosure we have up here is the zombie enclosure, which I regret putting armor on these guys. I thought it would look like super cool and stuff, but then they sort of just started mixing and matching armor, and it looks disgusting now. So I didn't really show that in the video, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I built this little church thing. I still don't know if it's called a church or not, but yeah. And then one of the cool little features that I added in here was that you can come in and you can view all the zombies from here, and ow. And then if I mute this and I flick this, it makes the little bell go, which I thought was a pretty cool little feature. Yeah, so that's that. And I may or may not have forgot to put the golden dandelion on the zombies, like the little baby ones. So you know, they don't exist anymore. They're just normal villagers. But no, they're just normal zombies. But you know, we'll brush past that fact. Still got a nice little graveyard as well with trees and a big old cloud above it. Pretty nice. Ow. Moving on. Creepers. This one is pretty simple. We just got a crater, which I saw a comment today that I should have put campfires under these, and it would have made smoke going up. That is such a good idea. I wish I did that, but it's a bit too dangerous for me to go in there now. Yeah, creeper one, pretty simple enclosure. Moving on, we got the guardians with the little rubber duck, and then we got the drowns over here. And I'll go under here inside of the little guardian to head on down, where we can get a much better view of the guardians and all the underwater enclosures here. And then in here we got a nice little underground viewing area thing. And then for the drowns, I added this. I thought it looked quite cool. Don't know what it is, but yeah. So then that is all the aquatic mobs. And then over here we have the creekers. And this was my first attempt at doing a little curvy tree, and I think it turned out quite nice. Can't complain about it. I think I really like all the little custom trees I did. I really tried with them. They're all nice and fluffy and stuff, and yeah. Happy birthday, thank you. So yeah, we've got the creekers here. That's pretty cool. I also added in these signs, which I didn't really show, but it just sort of shows what mobs are in what direction, and yeah. Alright, and then next up we have the Witch and Bog enclosure. This one, awful to make, awful to move these guys in. They killed each other so much. I think this one took maybe 4 to 5 hours of moving mobs to get them fully in here. Not a fun time, would not recommend. But this enclosure also took so long to build because of all the different blocks used in the floor. That one was awful. This was the first one I also started with when I designed the zoo in Creative, was the slime enclosure. Yeah, once again, awful to design, but I think it turned out decent-ish. And then we got the second entrance here with another zoo sign, so that you know you're in a zoo. And then moving on up, we have the Pillagers and Ravagers. Nope. Pillagers, Vindicators, and Evoker. Evoker. Where's the Evoker? Where's the Evoker? You. No? You. No. Wait. Oh, there he is. Ugh. Fun fact. Basically, this guy, he is the worst mob in the game. Because, look, let's say I'm just chilling, over here, and I happen to, jump up here, for example. The bro is probably going to be able to see me, and then they just spawn Vixes on me constantly. It's so annoying. Yeah, but the Evoker, by far, caused the most trouble during, the whole building of the zoo, because he kept on attacking me. When I was building that spider, he attacked me so many times. It was so annoying. But yeah, that's a little Vindicator and Evoker enclosure. I originally wanted to put the Vexes inside a woodland mansion here, but they can't be stored, so Now they just come in here and I think it's really, really cool. I think the Evoker needs solitary confinement. I should have done that from the start. I should put him in like a cage. He should be put in there. He's evil. And then moving over, we have the Ravager enclosure with the big the miniature village, which I thought looked pretty cool. They always get stuck behind this house. That's a bit annoying, but oh well. Yeah, there's nothing too fancy with this one, except you can just walk on into this hall building and just view these guys from a bit closer up, which I think is pretty cool, I guess. All right, and then we'll move on over to the old mobs. So we got the Breeze in here, which is quite hard to see. I'm just gonna do that. But yeah, so I got the Breeze just in an ice cave because I thought, why not? And then we got, I still don't know the name of these guys. Strayed? Nope. Yes. Yeah, Strayed just in here with a little broken down cabin and this tree, which I made lean because the spider's leaning on it. I was really proud of myself for that one. Anyway, moving on to the underground section with the big spider entrance. In here, we got the silverfish, all the skeletons in here, and then normal spiders. And this one, bit of a problem. All the cave spiders sort of killed themselves. Yeah. I think what happened is they were on this roof and then they fell down here and they kept on doing that and then they sort of just died of full damage. So they no longer exist, is what I'm saying. But oh, and this turned to concrete. I didn't even realize that this turned to concrete. Dude, get them the therapist. All right. So that's the whole underground section. Nothing too fancy there. Then for the end, this one took a while to make. I also realized that in the video I said that I'll put end crystals on here. Completely forgot. But too late now. I can always add them in later, but because these guys now exist, it's a lot of effort to put the end crystals there, so that can be a future me problem. In the end, we got this little ship. I was quite proud of designing that one. It was actually way harder to design than I thought. And then we got the shulkers. These were awful to move, but they actually weren't that bad. So yeah, and then we got the little endermites. They were nice and easy to get. And then the Endermen are in boats so that they don't just teleport away. And then over here, we got my nice little, what are these guys called? Phantom enclosure. And I actually really like how this one turned out. Since it's I don't know, this moon, it just, mwah, I love it. Is that lichen? Yes, that's glow lichen and the pearlescent frog lights. And then I also did little trees that are pale, so it looks like they're dark. All right, moving on. Actually, wait, we'll sleep. Oh, monsters are nearby. Could have guessed that one, actually. Next up on the tour, we have the desert mobs. This one is where it started to get annoying to move all the mobs from now, because these ones were a couple thousand blocks away, so that's always fun. And I also don't like how they picked up random heads. That's really annoying. How did he even get a zombie villager head? What? But this one, pretty simple desert biome, except for the cactuses inside the enclosure. I had to use vines since they'll die with normal cactus. So I thought that was a pretty cool little addition. So vines and moss. And then we got a little temple, which I actually really like because these guys like to stand in the entrance, which I think adds a lot to it. And then I really just like this biome. Pretty cool. All right, then moving up. We got the nether mobs. So we got these guys. Yeah, this enclosure is pretty basic. It's just yeah. Are you worried about the fire? Nah, I don't think they can jump that far. Hopefully. None. I don't know if any of them have yet. One of them might have jumped in the fire, but oh well. I don't think they can, hopefully. So yeah, we got these guys. They're pretty chill. They don't hurt. Then we got these guys. They're all pretty chill apart from that guy and that guy. And where did the other ones go? Okay, so I guess some of them have just disappeared. That's cool. Some of them on the loose? No. Oh, we're just missing a few wither skeletons. Oh well. Either way, moving on. Then we go into the little fortress I made where we can view the magma cubes. This one. This enclosure was so annoying to build in creative. This is because these spikes, right? So I was going for a basalt delta theme, as you can sort of see. So I was like, oh yeah, I can use the basalt spikes to like contain these big boys. So I built up the spikes, and because they're more than 2 blocks wide, they can't fit through 2 block gaps. So I was like, oh yeah, I just need to space them every 2 blocks and it'll be fine. And then as long as they're 4.5 blocks tall, they can't jump over them. But the amount of like trial and error I had to do to stop these guys from being able to jump over them was ridiculous. I thought that I'd fully like encased it all, and then I go AFK for like a few hours in the creative world, and boom, this guy is now over here. Oh, it was so annoying. Yeah, these guys are not a very fun enclosure to design. Fairly easy to get into here though. And I also really like how this one turned out. Probably one of my favorite enclosures. And then lastly, we have the indoor flying enclosure, which is just the ghasts and the blaze, but the blaze don't actually ever fly or move. They're sort of just trapped there. But oh well. Yeah, this one. These guys were awful. Blaze were easy. I like this enclosure. It looks quite cool, I think. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about it. But yeah, magma-cubed lava isn't filled in properly. Yeah, I didn't want to film the lava properly, so it adds a bit of like waviness and texture to it. Like I did that for all of these. Especially in this big one in here, I didn't fill it in just to add a bit of movement, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I like it like that or not, but it was certainly a lot easier to build in survival like that, so. So yeah, that is pretty much everything in the zoo. And then this mountain, I think, took 8 hours of building-ish. Quite a big mountain. Quite a big mountain. Oh yeah, also, fun fact. This is a no-fly zone, the whole zoo, because if these guys teleport, I'm going to actually cry. So the zoo, you have to stick to the path, or else you'll get shot, or teleported, or evoked, or vexed. So fun fact as well, this witch has been standing here since I put them in there. This was the last witch I put in, and they haven't moved since. They've been standing right there. But yeah, so that is the whole zoo.